Okay, this is file 24-21752-FH People versus Frederick Khalil Shears. We're here today for a pretrial conference in this case, and we are proceeding today by video conference. We can first have the attorneys place their appearance on the record, beginning with Ms. Arnold.
For the people.
May it please record George Lyons on behalf of Mr. Shears.
Okay, and we had a brief discussion off record. Mr. Lyons, my understanding is you are seeking an adjournment. Is that correct?
Yes, right, for just a week. I'd like to get up to see my client, sit down with him face to face, and talk to Mr. Glazier. That new case has been down in district court for the last 4 months. We've been hoping to get everything up here in one place, but it's languishing.
Okay. Ms. Arnold, do you have any objection to an adjournment?
No, thank you.
All right. Okay, so I can't do 1 week because I'm out next Wednesday, but Mr. Lyons, we can do November 27th.
The 27th, Your Honor, you know what? I'm in front of you that day, Mr. Fenton, so I'll be there anyway.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Would you do a stipulation in order for that adjournment, Mr. Lyons?
I will, Judge.
Is there anything else we need to address? I'm sorry.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
No. And Mr.
Okay.
Shears, I'll be there to see you Saturday.
Inshallah.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Am I good to go?
Yep, you're all set, Mr. Shears.
Thank you.
Okay, this is file 24-21917-FH and 24-21918-FH. People versus Elijah Tremone Bradley. We're here today for a pretrial conference. In both of those cases, we're proceeding today by video conference. First, can I have the attorneys place their appearance on the record, beginning with Ms. McClure?
Phoebe McClure, map of the people.
Rhonda Underwood on behalf of Mr. Bradley, Your Honor.
All right, and Mr. Bradley is here by Zoom from his MDOC facility. Where do we stand with the case, Ms. Underwood?
Your Honor, there has been a plea offer memorialized in a plea agreement that Mr. Bradley will plead guilty in file number 24-21917-FH to count 1, assault of a prison employee, and in file number 24-21918 to count 1, assault of a prison employee, The habitual offenders notice on both files will be dismissed, and count 2 of 24-219-180 FH will be dismissed as well, Your Honor. Just to be clear, the habitual offenders on both, these parties have killabreed to a sentence of the lesser of 24 months or the low end of the guidelines to be served in the Michigan Department of Corrections concurrently to each other, but of course, consecutive to any current sentences Mr. Bradley has.
All right, Ms. McClure, is that a complete and accurate statement of the plea agreement?
It is, Your Honor. I'm wondering though, did you sign the plea form and submit it, Rhonda?
I can sign it and have it emailed over.
Okay, yeah, that's the only thing. I do see that that is a plea offer, but it doesn't have any signatures on it other than Mr. Sneed.
I will do that right now.
If you want to proceed with the plea, Judge, I can forward an unsigned copy to the court to use if they need it.
I don't believe that I need that. I guess the question I would have is, do we know with certainty that the court has the ability to impose concurrent sentencing on these files, since they do have different occurrence dates?
Well, no, we just meant any sentence given out on these would be served consecutive to what Mr. Bradley is already serving.
I understand that, but what you said is that these two files would be concurrent with each other, but consecutive to what he's currently serving.
Oh, I
And my
didn't.
question is, do I have the ability to do that, or are those required to be consecutive to each other as well?
I didn't catch Miss Underwood say that, but I don't believe they can be concurrent with each other.
Sorry, I didn't hear what Ms. McClure said.
So Ms. McClure does not believe that the law allows me to make the sentences in these two separate cases concurrent to each other.
Really? I thought we always did that. Your Honor, can I have a brief breakout with Ms. McClure?
Yeah, 1 second.
I'm sorry.
Okay, Mr. Davis, do you need to speak to Mr. Jacobs?
After I speak to the prosecutor, if that's possible.
Okay, I think the prosecutor just went into a breakout session with another attorney. So as soon as we have her available, I'll set that up.
Okay, thank you.
Is this Mr. Jacobs?
Unless-
Andrew Jacobs?
Yes. This is Andrew Jacobs. Yeah, is that your case, Mr.
Yeah.
McCready?
It is.
Okay, so Mr. Davis, I'll put you in a breakout session with Mr. McCready.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're back on the record in People versus Elijah Bradley. Where do we stand at this point?
Judge, I was able to look up the section of the law that deals with this. It's MCL 768.7B, and it looks like unless it's a major controlled substance offense, the court has discretion to run them consecutively. It says unless a major controlled substance offense, it may run consecutively, and then if it is a major controlled substance offense, it shall run consecutively. So I think the court does have discretion based on 768.7B. So, but essentially that's not part of.
I don't think my concern comes from the fact that he was charged with another felony well after committing this felony. It's that he's an NDOC prisoner, and I believe the statute requires, I mean, it clearly requires consecutive sentencing to anything he's serving now. But my question is whether that statute requires me to make these two sentences consecutive. Certainly, if these two files had happened far apart, if they were a year apart and he had been sentenced on one, it would have to be, the second one would have to be consecutive to the first, I believe.
Right.
So in this case, we have, I understand they're a day apart. So I'd be concerned with 768.7A.
Okay. And it may be a moot point only because whether it was consecutive or concurrent was not a part of the plea agreement. It was just that each would get the low end of the guidelines. Again, I don't know why Miss Underwood did throw in the concurrent when she was speaking. I didn't catch that. But when I reviewed the plea form, that was not part of the agreement anyway.
Your Honor,
So if it has to be consecutive, again, that wasn't part of the plea agreement anyway, so I don't
Okay,
think there's
well-
an issue with that.
perhaps,
It may affect whether Bradley wants to enter into the plea agreement though.
Right.
perhaps
Yeah,
we need to put this off for a couple weeks, Your Honor. And I need to talk to Mr. Bradley and see where we are on this. Because that's important.
Okay, I think that probably makes sense. I think we need to be clear on exactly whether the court, whether or not the court has the ability to.
Or maybe we
if
can do something else.
Such a sentence, or and certainly that's a key point in determining whether Mr. Bradley wants to accept the plea offer. So I think that's appropriate. So I'll set this over to December 11th at 8:15.
Thank you, Your Honor, and I would be happy to prepare the stipulation with Ms. McClure's approval. And thank you.
Okay, and obviously we'll need another writ for Mr. Bradley. I am also going to sign an order for prints in file 24-21918-FH. We have prints in the 1.7 file. We don't have prints in the 1.8 file.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. And Mr. Bradley, you can let the officer that's with you know that you're done with court for today.
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Underwood, Mr. Rucker is here. Do you need a breakout session with him?
I do briefly, Your Honor.
Mr. Rucker, I'm going to put you in a breakout session with Ms. Underwood if you give me just a moment.
Okay.
Ready?
And Judge, I'll take a breakout room as well with Mr. Jacobs.
Okay, one second. Okay, Ms. Underwood, you need to speak to Mr. McCollum Rosa.
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. McCollum Rosa, give us just 1 minute here. We're ready to call your case.
Alrighty.
This is file 24-21958-FH, People versus Skylar Austin McCollum Rosa. We're here today for a pretrial conference in the case, and we are proceeding today by video conference. First, going to have the attorneys place their appearance on the record, beginning with Ms. McClure.
E.B. McClure, map the people.
Rhonda Underwood on behalf of Mr. McCullum Rosa.
Okay, Ms. Underwood, where do we stand with Mr. McCollum Rose's file
I
today?
don't know if you remember, Your Honor, but Mr. McCullum Rosa did call in because he was not here last week. And so the bench warrant was resolved. Mr. McCullum Rosa has a preliminary examination with the same parties on December 2nd, Your Honor. So I'm asking for an adjournment till after that to see where we are, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. McClure, do you have any objection to that?
No objection.
All right, let's go with December 11th at 8:15 a.m.
And I have no objection to doing the stip and order on that, Your Honor, with Ms. McClure's permission.
No objection.
Okay, Mr. McCollum Rosa, your next date for a court hearing in this case is going to be December 11th at 8:15 a.m. You can log in using all the same Zoom information that you used to log in today. Do you understand that? You need to unmute.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I do understand that, Your Honor.
Okay. You are all set for today, then you can go ahead and log out.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
And Judge, I'm ready on Mr. Jacobs whenever the court is.
Okay. So this is file 24-21919-FH People versus Andrew Frederick Jacobs. We're here today for a pretrial conference in this case, and we are proceeding today by video conference. First, I have the attorneys place their appearance on the record, beginning with Mr. McCready.
Good morning, Your Honor. Dave McCready for the people.
Hey, morning, Your Honor. Maurice Davis, P76203, appearing with Andrew Jacobs, who's present via Zoom.
All right, and Mr. Davis, where do we stand with Mr. Jacobs' case today?
Judge, I'm still in talks with the prosecution. I received some additional discovery yesterday. Just asking for another pretrial conference so that we can continue to work on things.
Okay, Mr. McCready, do you have any objection to that?
I do not. That's fine.
Okay, so I can do, Mr. Davis, I can do December 11th or December 18th.
December 11th.
Okay, Mr. McCready, does that work for you?
That's fine, Your Honor, also. Yes.
So December 11th at 8:15. Mr. Davis, could you do a stipulation in order for that adjournment?
Yes.
You can sign
Okay.
my name.
What'd you say, Mr. McCready?
You're welcome to sign my name on that.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, so at that time, the case can be about 100 days old or 82 days since the bind over today. So I'd be seriously looking at setting it for trial if we haven't reached a resolution at the next pretrial.
Understood.
It sounds good.
Okay. All right, anything else we need to address with this case today?
Back from the people.
Nothing else. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then you can go ahead and log out, and Mr. Jacobs, you can let the officer with you know that you're done with court.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Underwood, are you ready to proceed with Mr. Rucker?
Your Honor, I don't know if you remember, Mr. Rucker, we tried to have a Cobb's conference on with Mr. Sneed. Did Mr. Sneed and I discussed that afterwards?
Okay,
Did he send you an email or anything?
did. So let me stop our live stream. I'm going to have to ask those in the courtroom to step outside. And we will bring everyone back in when we're ready to